So, HiFiMan He4Xx or Sennheiser Hd58X. These are two really affordable mass drop headphones that punch pretty hard at their price bracket. But which one should you get? Let's find out. So here I have the 58X. If you haven't seen my review already, you should go and check that out first. And this is the 4XX. If you haven't seen my review on it, you should go on and check it out, because you're gonna hear me say a lot of the same things over again in this video. Now, I wanna start off by saying both of these are absolutely killer. Either way you go, you're not gonna be making a bad decision. So keep that in mind and don't stress too much about this buying choice. Both headphones are great. All it really comes down to is what your preferences are. And I'm gonna make that nice and simple. So first, if you're not planning on investing in at least a $100 amp like the Magni or the JDS Atom or the Liquid Spark, you should probably only consider the 58X, because the 4XX does take more power than the 58X to sound right. If you're willing to invest that extra bit in the amp, it's a lot more fair of a fight. But just running off of a phone or a laptop, the 4XX is not going to perform as well as it possibly could. And the 58X, don't get me wrong, will benefit from an amp too, but it is easier to drive out of the two. Now, comfort on these is a bit more of a toss-up depending on your head shape. The 58X is definitely lighter. It sticks to the same traditional style as the 6XX, 650, 600, etc. If you don't like clamp, these might be a problem for you. And the pads are reasonably shallow, but they're actually ear-shaped, which is nice. Comparatively, the 4XX does not have ear-shaped pads. I've actually changed these out, but the stock pads are round. They feel a little bit squished on my ear from the top and bottom, and while my ear never really touches the driver, comfort's going to vary from person to person. These do have less clamp, but they are a little bit heavier, and depending on your head shape, this headband, which is not a suspension strap, may or may not be a good thing. I think overall, more people will find the 58X to be more comfortable out of the two. Now, with that said, you can change the pads very easy on the 4XX. You should not change the pads on the 58X unless it is for other Sennheiser brand pads. It's just something about this series of Sennheiser headphones to where if you change the pads, it ruins the sound. Don't know why, that's just how it is. And where I haven't found any pads that particularly make the sound more neutral on the 4XX, there are definitely plenty of pads that make them more fun without sacrificing things like detail or tonality too much. Though I do find that most pads tend to suck out the mid-range a little bit more and elevate lows or highs. And speaking of highs, let's get a little bit more into sound. Now, in the high end, the 58X are going to be a little bit more rolled off. The 4XX in comparison does have some treble spikes and can be more sibilant in comparison. However, I would say that in the highs, the 4XX maintains significantly better detail and separation. Now, moving down into mid-range, the 58X definitely takes the cake. You're not gonna find mid-range separation and texture or vocal intimacy like these in basically anything else in the price point. The 4XX, in comparison, the mid-range does sound a little bit more sucked out, but with the benefit that it has significantly wider soundstage. Very significantly wider soundstage. Now, moving into the lows, the 58X do have a little bit of a bump, which kind of gives them a nice punch, but the 4XX is definitely better extended into the sub bass and seems to have better separation through the low end. So we can break it down into these points. The 58X have oval-shaped ear pads, which could be a comfort plus for some people. They're lighter, and they have basically unbeatable mid-range performance and vocal intimacy. The sound is also laid back and is a lot easier for a long listening session. The 4XX, in comparison, have better separation and better detail on the highs and lows, a little bit more recessed mid-range, better soundstage, and the ability to swap pads. And out of the two, the 58X is going to be, as I said, easier to drive, whereas the 4XX, you are going to definitely need an amp. Probably in the $100 price range or higher. So guys, hopefully that helped you decide which of these two headphones is right for you. Personally, I like having both. I think it's nice to switch back and forth between multiple headphones because I get bored pretty easily. And that's what I do with LCDs and Alex. I even do that with flagship headphones. So guys, I hope you really liked this video. If you did, please leave a like down below and a comment letting me know what you want to see in the future. And if you want to support the channel and get early access to videos like these, you can check out the Patreon, linked in the video description. And don't forget to stick around and subscribe for more videos like this one. Until the next one, guys. Peace.